testimony that draws others to me. People are tired of religious theory. They want to see real faith demonstrated in real life. And you are about to become that demonstration. You are going to be the evidence they need that faith in me is not wishful thinking but powerful reality. Think about what you have learned about me during this season. You have learned that I am present even when I feel absent. You have discovered that I am working even when you cannot see any evidence of it. You have experienced that I am faithful even when circumstances suggest otherwise. You have proven that I am good even when life is hard. These are not theological concepts you memorized. These are lived realities you have experienced. And that experiential knowledge is unshakable. People can argue with your theology. They cannot argue with your testimony. You know what you know because you have lived it, walked through it, survived it. This is what I do. This is who I am. I am the God who redeems, the God who restores, the God who takes broken pieces and creates masterpieces, the God who turns mourning into dancing, ashes into beauty, despair into hope, defeat into triumph. And I am doing all of that in your life right now. The transformation is happening. The turnaround is in motion. The victory is manifesting. And very soon, you are going to look at your life and marvel at what I have done. You are going to tell your story and people are going to be amazed. You are going to reflect on this season and recognize it for what it truly was. Not abandonment, not punishment, not random suffering, but strategic preparation for a promotion that required you to be refined before you could receive it. Everything you went through was working for you, not against you. Everything you endured was preparing you, not destroying you. Everything that hurt you was actually healing you at levels deeper than the pain. And now, the preparation is complete. The refining is finished. The training is done. And you are ready. Ready to receive. Ready to step up. Ready to walk through the open door into everything I have prepared for you. So go forward with confidence. Step into this new season with faith. Receive what I am releasing with gratitude. And watch what I do. Watch how I move. Watch how I provide. Watch how I protect. Watch how I promote. Watch how I prove myself faithful in ways that exceed everything you believed I could do. This is your season. This is your time. This is your moment of breakthrough, of victory, of triumph. And I am with you every step of the way, not just watching from a distance, but walking beside you, in you, through you, making sure that you not only reach the destination, but that you become who you need to be in the process of getting there. What began in difficulty is ending in victory. What started with tears is finishing with triumph. What commenced in uncertainty is concluding with confidence. What opened with fear is closing with faith. This is the decree that was issued in heaven concerning your life. This is the verdict that was written before you ever entered this season. This is the promise that has sustained you through every dark moment. And now, this is the reality that is manifesting before your eyes. Let me show you something about how I have been working during this season that you could not see from your limited perspective. While you were crying out to me in prayer, I was dispatching angels to minister to you. While you were feeling alone, I was surrounding you with an invisible army that the enemy could not penetrate. While you were believing that nothing was changing, I was rearranging entire systems in the spiritual realm to position you for breakthrough. You only saw what was visible. I was working in dimensions you cannot access with natural senses. Think about what happened with Elisha and his servant when they were surrounded by an enemy army. The servant looked with natural eyes and saw only the overwhelming opposition. He panicked. He asked Elisha what they were going to do, and Elisha prayed that God would open the servant's eyes to see what was really happening. When his eyes were opened to the spiritual dimension, he saw that the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire surrounding them. The army he thought was about to destroy them was actually outnumbered by the heavenly forces protecting them. He just could not see it until his eyes were opened. That same dynamic has been operating in your life during this difficult season. You saw the opposition, you felt the pressure, you experienced the attacks, and from your perspective, it looked like you were outnumbered, overpowered, about to be overwhelmed. But if your spiritual eyes could have been opened to see what was really happening, you would have seen me standing between you and every attack. You would have seen angels working on your behalf. You would have seen doors being opened in the realm of the spirit before they manifested in the realm of the natural. You would have seen me moving pieces into position, orchestrating circumstances, touching hearts, preparing the way for the breakthrough that is now arriving. The season you walked through was never as hopeless as it felt. The situation was never as dire as it appeared. The outcome was never in doubt from my perspective. I knew how this was going to end before it began. I saw the victory before you ever faced the battle. And I was working the entire time to bring you to this moment, to bring you through that season, to bring you into this new chapter, to bring you to the place where everything I promised becomes everything you experience. Now I need to talk to you about something that is going to be critical as you step into this season of victory. You are going to need to guard your heart against pride. When the breakthrough manifests, when the blessing arrives, when people start noticing that something has shifted in your life, there is going to be a temptation to take credit for what only I could do. There is going to be a subtle whisper in your mind suggesting that your faith was strong enough, your prayers were good enough, your obedience was complete enough to earn this breakthrough. And if you listen to that whisper, if you allow pride to take root, it will poison everything I am giving you. Pride is what caused Lucifer to fall from heaven. Pride is what turned a worship leader into the adversary. Pride is what transforms blessing into a curse. Pride is the deadly sin that masquerades as healthy confidence. And it is one of the enemy's most effective tools for destroying people who survive his attacks of doubt and fear. If he cannot get you to quit in the valley, he will try to get you to stumble on the mountain. If he cannot defeat you through hardship, he will try to corrupt you through blessing. If he cannot make you doubt my goodness when things are bad, he will try to make you forget my goodness when things are good. So I am warning you ahead of time. When the victory comes, remember whose victory it is. When the breakthrough arrives, remember who broke through for you. When the blessing manifests, remember who blessed you. None of this is about your greatness. All of it is about mine. None of this came from your strength. All of it flowed from mine. None of this was achieved through your ability. All of it was accomplished through my faithfulness. You were simply faithful to keep trusting me. I was the one who moved heaven and earth to prove myself trustworthy. Stay humble. Stay grateful. Stay dependent on me. The moment you start thinking you have figured it all out, the moment you begin believing you can maintain this level of blessing through your own wisdom, the moment you drift into thinking you are self-sufficient, that is the moment things will start to unravel. Not because I am vengeful or cruel, but because pride creates cracks in the foundation. Pride opens doors to the enemy that I cannot protect you from because you have chosen to walk in territory I warned you to avoid. So keep your heart soft, keep your spirit teachable, keep your posture humble, and the blessing I am releasing will not only arrive, it will remain. There is something else you need to know about this victory. It is not just about you experiencing relief from the difficulty you walked through. It is about you being positioned to help others who are walking through similar difficulties. The testimony you are gaining through this season is going to become a tool in my hand to minister to multitudes. The lessons you learned in the fire are going to equip you to pull others out of their fires. The breakthrough you are receiving is going to give you credibility to speak into the lives of people who are still believing for their breakthroughs. This is why the enemy fought you so hard. He knew that if you made it through, if you emerged victorious, if you came out with your faith intact and your testimony powerful, you would become a threat to his operation in the lives of countless others. Every person you encourage through your testimony is a person he loses influence over. Every believer you strengthen through your story is a believer he cannot defeat through lies. Every seeker you point to me through your witness is a soul he cannot claim for his kingdom. Your victory is not just about your personal freedom. It is about you becoming a weapon of mass liberation in my hands. So when people start asking you how you made it through, do not minimize what you went through. Do not downplay the difficulty. Do not sanitize your story to make it more palatable. Tell the truth. Tell them about the nights you cried yourself to sleep. Tell them about the moments you wanted to quit. Tell them about the times you could not feel my presence but chose to trust me anyway. Tell them about the battles you fought and the losses you endured and the pain you carried. And then tell them about me. Tell them how I showed up when you needed me most. Tell them how I provided when you had nothing left. Tell them how I carried you when you could not walk. Tell them how I proved myself faithful even when you struggled to remain faithful. That testimony is powerful. That story has the ability to